Why is she still talking?
Anywho, anytime
Dave,
I hear
August of 1982, Dave.
August of 1982.
August of 1982.
What happened then?
That's the first time I heard this song we're going to do today.
Oh, okay. See, when I hear the phrase "anywho," what I think is Hugh, the Borg on Star Trek: Next Generation. So clearly, my brain is always at a.
You are a nerd from soup to nuts, man. You are a nerd.
Unequivocally. All right, tell me about it.
I told you that when I was a lad,
a wee lad.
I
almost said a wee lass.
when I was a wee lass, I liked this band that had come out with an album. I had heard some of their songs before, but that new album, Abacab, 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 is
right.
It had some great poppy hits on it, and I liked it. So I got tickets to the show. They were playing an all-day concert festival thing. They were the closing act, the headliners at JFK Stadium in Philadelphia, and it was August of 1982. And I went to that show. And I heard this song, and this is one of a handful of songs that made me leave that stadium and unfortunately the next morning drive to Florida to go to Disney World. But as soon as I got back, bought up every album that I could get my hands on leading up to the album that I had, which was Abacab. And it's been a trip. And this song is one of my favorites partly because of time and place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, had my best girl on my shoulder there. Times were good. I went to Disney World the next day. It was, I had graduated high school that previous spring. Life was just grand.
Mm.
And then I heard this, and I'm getting chills even thinking about it. I'll tell you what. Now, this is the studio version you're going to hear. It's 9 minutes long, so a little over 9.5 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to do trivia, we'll hold it till afterward and with the discussion. So, but I think you should get to the song now. Here's what people are going to say: "Oh, this is so much better live. Oh, this is that. This is the other thing." I don't disagree with any of that. I personally think it is better live, but I wanted you to get the lyrics because I have no idea what this song's about.
Well, that makes two of us. All right, here we go. Firth of Fifth.
Firth of Fifth.
I can't even glean anything from that. Normally, the title will sometimes give me a hint or a direction to go. Firth of Fifth. I don't know. Here we go. Aw, I do love a piano opening.
This song came out in 1973.
Dang.
you like a cancer growth is removed by skill. Let it be revealed. A waterfall is madrigal, an inland sea is symphony. Songs as the sailors on, till used by the sirens' cry.
So far, this is a ton of fun. Firth of Fifth almost sounds to me now like it could have been a classical music song title, like the Firth of the Fifth Symphony or something, because of this piano movement that is pervasive now throughout the piece. It was a little jarring to go from that first piano into the first, I guess, verse, you could say.
Or second movement.
Yes, second movement, if you will. But in a fun way. And so far, musically, this feels like an epic, orchestral piece. We have calm movements with a single piano, and then you have the larger scale movements that build with a lot of different instrumentation coming in there. Lyrically, man, I could go a lot of ways with this lyrically so far. I'm not 100% sure where to go with it yet, so I'm gonna hold off for a moment until I collect more information. That's what I would say about that.
Sure. Yeah, nods to Tony Banks, the keyboard player, amazing genius piano player. Signature there is flickering between 13:10 and 15:10. No slack drummer, I'm telling you.
the shepherd leads his flock away. The sands of time where we roll by, the river of constant change.
What?
Yeah.
That's God blessed our flat Earth. It's not how I expected that to end.
It was not anything to do with Genesis or that song.
No, I assumed as much.
And once again, I have to thank you for taking the time to put the lyrics on a video so that we could see the lyrics. I really do appreciate it. I know it takes effort. I know it takes time. But let's stop being stupid with it. You know? I mean, to show the back of a CD cover and not even flip it so you could read the words on it, you know, like all kinds of crazy stuff and that weird flat earth reference at the end. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother adjusting a theory that is so dumb and easily disproven. We'll just go on.
Okay.
So
now, to the music,
to the music.
To me, it's mind-blowing, wonderful, enjoyable, as good as any Beethoven Bach masterpiece ever.
Okay, I don't know if I'll quite go 100% that far, but I will go pretty close.
Okay.
I do think it was absolutely an incredible piece. I found that I got even more into it as the piece progressed, which is perfect. I mean, that's exactly how it should be, right?
Right. And you hear it again, you're like, that is a really good song. And if you'd heard it live with your best girl under your arm at the,
Yep, yeah,
at
it
a
totally
concert,
makes sense.
You know, like it's just the perfect storm of convergence of goodness. And
Yeah, it was almost 5.5, 6 full minutes of the song. I would say a full 2/3 of the song was pure instrumental, maybe more.
Yeah.
If I went back
you're
through
absolutely
it.
right. And there's 2 sections in there where they rely heavily on those bass pedals. And again, I've said this before. I'm in a bad seat. I'm at one of the worst places you could be at JFK Stadium. It's an outdoor stadium, no roof, and the bass was waving through my entire body. You know, like when they hit those bass pedals, I was lifted off the ground. I was floating above them with my arms outstretched. You know, oh my gosh, it just blew me away musically. Now, what the song's about, haven't a clue.
Whew, what the song's about. I have theories, but I also have theories about my theories.
Okay.
And that'll make sense in a second. So I think some of the problems that I have when I just get lyrics completely wrong are twofold. One, sometimes they're about a specific event in a time or place that happened when the song was written that I have no knowledge of. Or two, my own personal biases lend me to put into lyrics meanings that are sometimes not there or attributed to them. And that this is just all of humanity. Like, we all do this. We all have our own beliefs, our own biases. And so we will see a piece of art, or we'll see a poem, or someone will even say something, and we will decide what it means without fully understanding what the artist thought it meant.
Okay.
So I'm about to do that. So I think that for me personally, the way this song started, especially, very much evoked in me sadness, in that I think so many people are just the sheep sitting inside of the pen with a bunch of gods that are clearly not real. We see the path away from it, but it's so much part of our social society and our personal social circle, and maybe even our family circle, that we don't leave. So the sheep remain inside their pens. Though many times they've seen the way to leave, they've seen the truth, but they stay there. And I think we circle back around to that near the end of the piece, when we see Neptune is claiming yet another soul, and so with gods and men, the sheep remain inside their pen. Now, that was my first thought when I first thought through the lyrics. Now that I've gotten through the whole thing, I think that there's a very good chance this song is actually about a mixture of what I've said and looking toward how we just plod through life, listening to what those around us say, and never really give it much thought ourselves until eventually we die.
Mm.
And it's a sad life. It's an unreflective life, I think, and that's common. What I've realized in my lifetime is that reflection is rare, and especially I think today in the world of technology, we don't stop very often.
Yeah, and you have to stop and meditate. You
Mhm.
really your brain needs it. Your soul, if you will, needs it.
And I think that comes in a mixture of either good, long, deep philosophical conversations, specifically with friends who disagree with you, and just some time spent thinking on a concept, thinking on a philosophical concept, thinking on what it means to be you, what it means to be you in the world of other people that also feel just as them as you feel you, which is like there's so many strange thoughts like that, that it's sad how quickly they just glance through you and how few take the time to sit and talk and sit and think and sit and listen. So anyway, that's what I got out of the song. I have no idea what it's supposed to be truly about, but that is what it meant to me. That and an absolutely incredibly enjoyable musical journey through it. I turned up my headphones like 3 separate times throughout the song just so that I could try to catch everything that was going on in the background. And I have to say, thoroughly enjoyable song. No question where this is going. Regular old straight up playlist, just right on there. Can't wait to listen to it again.
Yeah, it really is a great song. If you can listen to it with a large system with the real, real bass waves
Mhm.
traveling through you as I experienced it in concert. In fact, I've heard them do that song in concert several times at this point. Um, that what a song. What I mean, the only thing that bummed me, they're kind of on their farewell to Phil tour because he's going to die soon, probably.
Mm.
Um, and I
Well then.
saw them last December, and they did do a version of the song, but they did it during their acoustic upfront set.
Mm.
So it didn't have the magnitude that it had,
I bet it
the
was still a
previous times.
really neat version, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I have lots of video that we took at that show because I'd never seen them like that. I hope they do release a concert video of that tour, even though Phil spends the entire concert sitting in a chair with a cane.
Mm.
He can barely move, really, the poor guy. Ridden hard and put away wet a lot. So yeah, poor Phil. He's young, too young to be in that situation. Anyway, at the time they recorded this, there was still a 5-piece with Peter Gabriel being the singer.
Mm.
The song also included, of course, Tony Banks, Phil Collins, and Mike Rutherford. That's the 3 who remained when everybody else was gone. But it also featured Steve Hackett playing guitar. He also played the flute section. And Steve Hackett's contribution to this song are evident. His guitar solo was neat, amazing, almost violin-like. Really did an excellent job with this song. And then he played the flute to boot.
Mm.
Yeah, the lyrics were written by the song's main author, Tony Banks, and the bass player, Mike Rutherford. Well, Mike Rutherford did more than bass in Genesis, especially when they were down to 3. But anyway, those two. And Mike Rutherford, here's a quote from him about those lyrics that you just read. One of the worst sets of lyrics I have been involved with.
Oh, man.
That's it. I thought that was a little harsh. I didn't think it was
Yeah.
that bad.
No.
But I kind of got the vibe after, even just reading the lyrics carefully, I haven't even done until just now. So even reading the lyrics carefully, I think I came to the conclusion that there are people who hear of adventure but stay safely in their pen, and they're confirmed in their safety in the pen when they hear of another person dying during their adventure.
Sure. Yeah. Look at that person. They died or, they were ostracized or something bad happened. So better to stay in the pen despite the fact that I know a clear way out and most of my world is lies.
Yeah, it's safe here. It's very safe. It's comfy.
Mhm.
I get fed.
Yeah, my friends are all here.
There's a toilet. All that stuff. Like it's like with skydiving. Oh, you got to go skydiving. You know what? I hear just often enough, maybe once every 5 or 10 years, of a parachute that didn't open.
Mm.
You know, maybe once every 5 or 10 years, probably once every million skydives. But it's just often enough to keep me in the pen.
Yeah, statistically, you have a higher chance of dying in the car ride to skydiving than while skydiving.
True, and they say the same about airplanes. So then, if that's true, why is a flight on a 737 MAX 8 so much cheaper than a flight on any other plane?
Yeah, I think I like your interpretation too. I think there's a good chance that it. But I also think that maybe they pulled a real dig a pony, and they just randomly wrote some lyrics.
It could be. The song's title, Firth of Forth, is sort of a play on the River Forth. I'm sorry, Firth of Fifth is a play on the River Forth, which is in Scotland, and it's commonly known there as Firth of Forth. So Firth of
All right.
Fifth is just kind of a play on that, and it's a water theme that matched, I guess, the writings.
Sure, that is definitely a deep cut reference I would not have come up with.
Yeah, no way. Anyway, it's a beautiful and wonderful song. They've done it live in a variety of ways, and I love when they combined it with your wardrobe. In Your Wardrobe, which was another great song that we will get to from Genesis. Love the band, love almost every iteration of the band.
Yeah, I guess from just listening to you talk about them, there has been a lot.
Yeah, I mean there was the 5, and then there was the 4, and then there was the 3, and then for the 3 from my time of listening on, and then for one short period Phil left, and they brought in a new singer. And the album actually sounded more like this era than the poppy era that they had developed. But no one could really get their teeth into that new singer. And plus, they were trying to do prog music in the 90s, and it just didn't pan out for them too well.
Well, if you have some more suggestions of Genesis, or really, I guess, any band out there, any song whatsoever, let us know in the comments, and it'll go on the list. That list is getting long, John.
It is very long, but, we have a lot of time left, I think. Maybe.
Hopefully.